What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar with your boy. You're gonna have to excuse me a little bit. I seem to have the hiccups, so you might hear me hiccuping as we go through this video. Yep, see right there. So today was a wild and wacky ride for the buyers. Excuse me. We have pretty much, I don't know what to call it. I think I'm going to remain to say that it is a balanced market. Just purely for the fact that we ended up with basically unchanged value today. And we ended up closing inside the previous day's range. I don't want to say that this market's up just yet due to the fact that we gave back everything and then some today that the buyers attempted to achieve over yesterday and then early this morning. Excuse me. Goodness, I got the hiccups, man. But we did hit two of the upside targets that we were discussing in yesterday's video, one of them being previous day's high, except for we gapped above it. And then that 10Y point of control, we hit it, but we also gapped above it. So we opened with a gap this morning only to pull back in, fill it, and then just kind of chop around initially above the previous day's high. After we took out the overnight high, we really didn't get much extension above it. If we look at our 15-minute chart here, you can see how we took out the overnight high here at 43.70.50, took it out by a point, or rather, roughly a point, and just kind of rolled back in. Now, an area that I had marked here on the chart was this high volume node here. Basically where that 10Y point of control was. I was expecting us to at least get a little stuck in the mud there, but not do what we did today, which was push up into it and then just roll right over, and end up going triple distribution and then potentially a quadruple distribution down. And then we ended up taking back two of those distributions and ended up going out with just a double distribution. The upper distribution being A's high to E's low, and then the middle the lower distribution being from G's high down to K's low, 43.11. So we go out with a double distribution today. Failed very, very, very hard above the overnight high of the previous and above the previous day's high. Once we got back into the range, goodness, it's gonna be the most annoying video ever. And we got back in the previous day's value. There really wasn't anything to lean on. We had an 8Y point of control here at 35.75. We came down, we hit it. Next downside target was going to be that afternoon pullback low at 43.27.50, which also was our overnight low. 43.27.50 to the tick was the overnight low. We came down and got that. Now three times this week we've gotten both overnights, and that is more rare than you could think. It only happens some 30% odd of the time, and we hit both rather quickly today. We hit the overnight high, and then within just a few hours came down, hit the overnight low, and then spent a little bit of time below the overnight low and below previous day's value, just kind of chopping around. Now, my next area that I had on the downside that I was interested in was this high volume node here, which was around the 43.12 point. We got down there 43.11 and bounced right up, taking back most of that distribution from earlier in the day, and then closing right around that 43.27 level. So wild day, wacky price action, about as wacky as these hiccups and me trying to do this video. But I had a really good day today. Started off a little rough. I was taking longs initially against previous day's value high and was looking to fade the extreme, but we kept pulling back. I got stopped out. I looked to buy again. I was not expecting the trend to hold. Wanted to come back into 58. I was longing, I was longing around 44. looking to get out around 58, and we rolled over. I got stopped out once again. After that, I decided, okay, market is telling me it wants to, continue to go lower and hit the rest of these destinations on the downside. One of them being that afternoon pullback low, and then below that was that 43.12 area that I was looking at on the downside. So after we decided to go trend and hold trend to the downside, I got short. I entered the short side a few times, made back a little bit of money, and then ended up in the green overall. Overall today, closed out with roughly 80 points gained in the ES. So good day overall. Shorted this market pretty much on any push up that allowed me to short it. The last trade of the day that I took was in the was this HIJK was in H period against the single prints on the push up. I was short at 26. Wanted to add higher. I was actually looking for this market to push up higher, and I would have added on a mother load around the 38 level to roll back in, but we didn't push up that high, so I only got long about a 6 lot, or not long, short a 6 lot at 26. It came in, and as we took out that low here, 1650 pushed down to 15, around 14. I got out of the trade. I didn't want to miss my target at 12, but I figured 2 points of gain is better, or missed is better than having the whole thing taken back. So I just got out of the trade completely at 14. Missed my target by about 2 points. I was looking at that 43.12 level, and then we hit it to the tick, and then even 1 point below it, and then bounced really aggressively back to the upside. So I was happy to get out of the trade. After that, I did nothing, was up really good on the day, and closed her down. So we end up with today's high, today's low, set of single prints above. No afternoon rally high, no afternoon pullback low. So no wide point of control, just sets of single prints here at 51.50 where they fill. Single prints will fill here. Wacky day, or wacky way to end the month. So single prints will fill there. Single prints start here at 49.75. So roughly 2 points of single prints to the upside. And I did not label it, of course I didn't. But there you guys have it. Single prints 49.75, fill at 40 or 51.50. Above that is the high day at 43.74.34. Excuse me, 43.80.25 is now going to be what I'm calling a 4-day balance high. We're going to adjust our balance just a little bit, just due to the fact that we ended up with unchanged value today. Lower distribution starts at 43.49.75, ends at 43.11 low of day. And then we have 43.01 on the downside and 42.77 balance low of this 4-day balance. So we're going to encompass the 25th high day into this balance area. And we're just going to say that this whole market is in a 4-day balance. Buyers are really going to need to prove to me that they want to go break out of this balance by going trend up, just like they went trend down today. So that's more or less the question. Now let's go ahead and look at the larger time frames. All right, so here we are looking at the monthly. So we're going to look here at the monthly. We're going to see exactly what we're trying to do. Monthly is in a downward state. We are one time framing down. We took out our monthly balance low here at 43.50. And so far, that 43.27.50 previous monthly balance high is where we've had that wide point of control today, and seemed to be the line in the sand and right around where we closed today. So very interesting point in the market there at 43.27.50. We're going to keep an eye on that going forward. But monthly is one time framing down. Next month, if we take out this month's low at 42.77, the monthly will continue to drift lower down into the low of 41.78. June low, which happens to line up right around where some high volume area is located. And then, of course, we have that 200-day moving average right around the 42.18 level. So we'll look at that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly. Weekly continues the 1 time frame down. After breaking out of that double inside week to the downside, 1 time framing down 2 weeks in a row now. If we take out this week's high at 43.8150, then we'll be back to balance on the weekly time frame. So 1 time framing down 2 weeks in a row. Looking to target right around that 41.90 level on the downside for me at least. Daily. Here's that daily. Look at how that 200-day moving average creeped right on up. Let's look at our daily balance. We're going to adjust our daily balance as well. But daily, we're going to adjust this daily balance real quick. Daily balance now is going to be that 43.8150, and that is going to be the weekly high, right? And if we take that out on the weekly time frame and on the daily time frame, then both will be up on the daily and the weekly. Now, we're going to remain in balance until something changes, and either we take out that 43.8150, put the weekly back into a balance and continue to push up, and that 20-day moving average is right around where the gap fills at 43.50. So if we push up, get into that gap any, then we'll look to see if that turns out to be some sort of resistance, or do we take out the balance low at 42.77, continue to 1 time frame down on the weekly and the monthly, and then go back to down on the daily, and then back test our 200-day moving average, which is right around 42.3018, and that just so happens to be right around where this gap is back from the 1st and 2nd of June when we gapped up, right? That gap fills at 42.3975. So, if we do come out of balance to the downside, that will be a target, is that gap fill area and just above the 200-day moving average. All right. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all had a wonderful day. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.